Okay, well, welcome to the Heart of Frederick podcast. I'm Sarah Hurwitz-Robey, and I'm here with Kate Deer, who is the owner of Citizens Ballroom and Fetwell Companies. And well, tell us, what are your different companies?
Oh man, so I have a problem that I just collect businesses. I just can't stop. I don't know. But you grew up, in a business, family, so you get it. So I own Citizens Ballroom in downtown Frederick. It is one of a kind of collection of venues that I own. I have Main Street Ballroom in Ellicott City, and then I also have franchises in Georgia, in Savannah, and the Atlanta suburbs. So essentially what I do is I take historic properties like the gorgeous, former bank on Patrick and Market and turn them into event spaces.
It's amazing what you've done over there. It's just, it's beautiful. It's probably, I would say, one of the most sought out after venues in all of Frederick, especially downtown.
I don't hate that you're saying that. Thank you. Thank you.
So what was the transformation process like?
It was a lot, but also not as much as people think. I think because really at the heart of what I do is I try and bring the buildings back to their former glory. I try and renovate them and keep as much intact as possible. So I'm not going in and making huge floor plan changes. I'm not going in and just totally reworking things, because I've seen proposed floor plans for that building, from previous people who were interested in purchasing it and things like that. And they were just like total guts and just and that's not what I do. So really, the process was paint made the biggest difference. Just a nice coat of paint. And then we had to obviously put in a sprinkler system, bring it up to, modern code, especially for assembly, like having a lot of people in a space, because it was a bank and it was never, designed to have a couple hundred people there. And then I also, just kind of redid all the finishes, made sure everything was, accessible to everybody. And then obviously preserve as much as we can. So we still have the vaults, we still have the safe deposit boxes, we still have the original tile in the side rooms, which is kind of what I went viral for. And it was this gorgeous hand-laid marble tile that they put in 1908. So so that was a large part of the process was that just getting everything up to modern standards, but still maintaining that original charm.
When was the building built?
1908.
Oh, that was the original.
The original structure was in the 18-something.
Okay.
18-somethings.
I've been learning about this building too, that the building we're in right now is 1924, but there were a few different renditions before.
Yeah, I think Square Corner was revised a couple times. So the latest, incantation of the building was 1908.
Wow, it's just so beautiful. I've been to a few events there. And so you utilized both the upstairs, which I'm sure would have been offices for the bank. It would have been maybe the president's office and and then also downstairs in two different kind of ways.
Yes. So what we typically do is we'll have people will have their ceremony on the main level, and then they'll their wedding ceremony. It's weird if I don't clarify that it's a wedding. Their ceremony. They'll have their wedding ceremony on the main level, and then everybody will go up for a cocktail hour to the mezzanine, and then everybody will come back down for the reception.
And then your team flips it then.
The caterer flips it.
Flips it. Yeah. So do you have you don't have a kitchen there? Obviously, it's not. It wasn't ever set up like that. So you have the caterers bring it in, and they do a wonderful job. Amazing what they can do without a kitchen.
Exactly. I like to say that because people sometimes are like, you don't have a kitchen, how does that work? It's like caterers can cater in a field. They are so independent and so self-reliant that they just need space and power. They don't really even need power. If they were in a field, they would use generators.
It's amazing.
But they just need the space, and we provide the power, and that's pretty much all they need.
I've been to events there, and I thought, how is it? This is like coming out of a restaurant kitchen. How are they doing this for this many people? Caterers are amazing. You're right. In general, you probably work with a bunch.
Oh yeah.
This holiday, give a gift that tells your story forever, because your story is our legacy. The Colonial Jewelers box. There's just more in it.
Frederick's changing fast. New restaurants, big projects, community debates. Don't hear about it a week later on Facebook. Wake up with Danny Gurry on Good Morning Frederick, the only show that's first with what matters in your backyard. The show airs weekdays at 9 a.m.
So your first location was the Ellicott City location?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, so what made you, since we're talking about Frederick, what made you set your eye on Frederick, or did you think Frederick first, or did you see the building first, or what made you come here?
Yeah. So I actually, when I first started my whole, starting a venue journey, I was looking at this property. This was before I started my first space. And at the time, I think I did like some negotiations, some lease, talking about leasing it. And it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And, also it was my first venue. Like I had, I started my whole company with $10,000. So I didn't have the capital to, lease or purchase that property really. So then I was like, oh man. So I've had my eye on that thing since, I grew up, I lived in Poolsville, and then I went to Evangelical Lutheran on Church Street growing up. And so I would drive by it, every week and be like, God, that's so beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
So I remember that building from when I was a kid, and then, saw that it was available when I was starting the whole venue dream. It was out of reach in the beginning, but then, I started my venue in Ellicott City, and it was time to expand. It was time to add a second location. And I came back here, I think it was during the pandemic, because I remember I was with my husband and we were on a date in the street. The restaurants were open in the street.
Yes.
And I saw the for lease sign or for sale sign. It was like for sale or lease. And I was like, oh man, okay, it's a sign. So I had to reach out, and the rest is history.
Wow. How long did it take you to renovate?
The renovations probably took about 9 months.
Okay.
It's kind of like making a baby. Yeah, that's about how long.
Which is really incredible if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because you really transformed the space. We used to bank there when I was first younger in the business. And I remember taking the deposit across the street, and it had this huge lobby, which is now when you're thinking about how banking has changed, banks don't have these ginormous lobbies anymore. But you really made you had to take out a lot of stuff as far as the bank components. And really it's just gorgeous.
Yeah. So what was interesting, the whole mission is to do as little as possible, but also make that impactful change. So really the main things that we did, we took down they had these huge 30-foot green drapes.
I remember.
That closed
I remember that.
Closed in the windows. And then we gave those to the Maryland Ensemble Theater. And then the big teller desk actually went to Smoketown. And
cool.
Yeah, so I guess they're using it as a bar, or maybe I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, that was kind of the intention. So everything kind of got reused locally, which is great. And really the only structural change besides, making the bathroom slightly bigger for ADA and things like that was removing that big teller desk, which was so sad because it was so gorgeous.
It was green marble, right? Or was some kind of marble?
No, it was just regular marble. It was gorgeous. It was the classic, gray and white.
I'm trying to remember. It's been many years since I was in there.
It was so beautiful. But, in order to function as a venue, that was taking up the whole main reception space. So it didn't really work.
Yeah. Sometimes that has to happen.
Yeah. But other than that, the layout really hasn't changed. It's just purely, the flooring and walls and things like that, and just updating some decor.
The side rooms, when you walk in, if you're kind of looking to your left, those smaller rooms there, were they offices at some point? And now you have them as little nooks for different things.
Yeah,
I guess depending on the event.
Exactly. They're offices. It's flex space. A lot of people will use there's a room that was actually the director's room. I think it's where they had their board meetings, because it says directors. The doors are bronze. Okay. And so it says directors on the door. And it's very fancy and has a fireplace, and it's very cool.
This is first floor or second floor?
First floor.
Okay.
And so I think that's where they had their meetings.
Okay.
And we typically use that as sort of one of two dressing suites by day. And then in the evening, it kind of becomes the bar.
Okay.
And then the other 2 tile rooms are generally kind of flex space. Sometimes people use them for their buffet. Sometimes people use them for tables. It depends on, what their guest count is and what their needs are. But those floors are very much in use.
Yeah, that's so neat. So you're pretty booked most of the time. I mean,
I was going to say,
see
you
all
see
the time. Yeah, you're pretty booked all the time. And it's so neat because people are always taking pictures on the front steps.
Isn't it fun?
It's just so fun. When we are always looking out the window to see, oh, we like her dress. Oh, look at the bridesmaids. Look at their flowers. It's really fun for us being also in the wedding industry to see. We were so excited when you were coming in because it was just such a good fit to be there together.
Yeah. I love it when people like buy their rings here and then they get married there. And it's like,
I know. And I've seen people take pictures in front of our love windows from your wedding. We get that a lot.
Really?
People taking because it's a good backdrop for that.
Perfect.
So what do you see the future of downtown Frederick? What was your, do you have any predictions or guesses?
Oh my goodness. Well, part of what I loved about opening this venue here in this community was immediately how welcomed we were. It was the Downtown Frederick Partnership and just members of the community, you all across the street, everybody, it was like a welcome wagon. It was incredible.
That's great.
And then also all the other venues, because we're not the only venue in town. And it's so amazing to see that everybody kind of comes together, like with you, with the wedding walk, with the Frederick Wedding Show. Everybody, it's almost like a community instead of a competition. It's let's all make Frederick a wedding destination.
Yeah.
Because the more people who think that Frederick is the place to go for weddings in Maryland, the more we all succeed. So I really love that there seems to already be that mentality and that we just kind of fit in with that.
Yeah, it's really, I think, a great place to do business. We've been here for a long time and I don't ever see us leaving.
Yeah.
I don't ever see it changing. I don't have any desire for another location somewhere else because this is it. This is the spot. This is the place to be.
You nailed it. You guys nailed it.
You guys too.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, thank
Square
you.
corner.
Yeah, Square Corner. Here we go. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me and talk about your beautiful venue. And if you haven't seen Citizens Ballroom, please take a look. You have some open houses sometimes where people can stop in on events. So
we'll post them on Instagram. I don't know. Yes. I don't know when they're going to be.
Thank you so much. All right.
So official.